polished. Now, the way TV and other digital medias are coming, all guys are well aware how to, you have to dress up properly. You have to speak well. Then you have the full knowledge. You have the theoretical knowledge. But you have to be more practical. Logic is, yes, universities, they play a key role. They can play a key role by inviting the visiting professors, industry experts, and the corporates, the guys who are in the corporate level. You invite them. You ask them to take some lecture, personality building maybe skill development program, how to enhance the skill sets. So suppose you have some course in MCA, okay? Let's talk about technology. So I don't know much about other subject. I can speak on technology. Suppose some new technology is coming. It's a lot of opportunity. MCA, you know about hardware, you know about software, you know about coding, you know about other things are coming up. There are various smart ways of doing business. Okay, you are doing work, you think that you are doing business. You are doing for yourself. Suppose you do well in our company, you will definitely get noticed. How you will come out well from your peers or competition with their flying color? How? You have to prove yourself differently. Suppose when I take some interviews of MCA students, what I see, I just please tell something about it. I just keep on listening, keep on listening. Then I say, what is your future roadmap? Just asking some nonsense questions. I don't talk about subject. Subject आपको पता होगा. जब आपको पता है कि fresher है, उसको experience हो ही नहीं, अब उसको क्या पूछोगे आप उसको? Logic is what I found or try to understand whether he or she is a learning habit or not. Whether he or she want to learn first or whatever he knows, don't mind, he means he, okay? So whatever he knows, he want to use the same things or he want to learn. That is main thing I noticed. Because when you are into certain things, you need to do so many things. Like for example, suppose you want to give someone is the coding thing, okay? How smartly he develop the logics is very important. Many business is with the logics. You tell me, the youngest guy of 30 years, he is a owner of 30,000 crore. How? Do you think he studied well? Flipkart, Bansal, 30 years. So I was taking interview of Bansal about the secret of success. So I want to feature a story. Okay, it's a one-on-one interaction. He says, what is the need in the industry? How the business functions? How a consumer demand is? What is the common perception? What is globalization? Okay, I give a small example on globalization. I want to sell a mobile phone. Okay, I'll give you a BlackBerry, I'll give you a Lava, or I'll give you a Samsung, I'll give you Apple. Which one you will take? Anyone raise that question? Tell me.
Apple one.
Why?
That is the latest brand.
Latest brand. Okay. Anyone?
Lava.
Lava. Why you go for Lava?
It's low price and very serious.
Okay. What do you take for one? I'm asking you front row. I think you are the best friend that you're sitting in the front row. The question. What the brand you go for? You're not getting the question. The question is, I'll give you 4 brand, Apple, Samsung, BlackBerry, Lava. Which mobile you will take for?
I will take Apple.
Huh? Apple why?
It gives pieces that are important and it lasts sometimes.
What loss? Okay, no. You know the answer. You know the answer. Because Apple is Apple. That you don't want to tell. Okay? So the logic is, you know the answer, but you have to polish. How you get polished? Some trainer has to come. So you got the answer, sir. I would request professor sitting there, you should invite the experts, marketing gurus. Marketing gurus are important, right? She knows the answer. She knows the answer, but she is not in a position to communicate. Yes. So what I mean to say, education is good. We have got the basic education. We need the experts to invite to the institution so that they can train. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody else who would like to respond?
So I can understand three ways. So first one is there should not be excuse to say that okay because we don't have facility or we don't have opportunity or we have a gap. That's not properly. That should not be excuse. Definitely we can make it. So the second part is yeah with respect to the gap bridging. I would say the core part should remain same the way other panel members said the syllabus. That gives us a foundation. That should not be changed. Anyway that should be there so that today Java is there or some new technology is there, tomorrow something else may come. But your basic foundation should be there so that you can grasp it quickly. So that should not be changed. But the other part, as the other members say, that we need to cultivate other resource skills like the communication, soft skills, or other latest technologies, what is happening in the market, or the awareness. Those can be these using the latest technologies or using the making a bridge between the industry and our university or other institutes. How it can be made is like let's take an example. I've been to PhD Coimbatore. So what they do is for their syllabus technician, they are tied up with some industries. Their members they come over here and they put some insight courses. So that way what is going to happen is you will have your core foundation. On top of that, you can have ancillary courses like communication or some what are the latest part. So using that technology, probably you will be able to bridge the gap and you will be able to sustain more on that one. Thank you.
Yeah, so since it's a very fundamental question, I'd like to add some more points. I would say learning should not be solely in pursuing a job that destroys the beauty of learning and the purity of learning. So a job should be byproduct of right learning. So what I feel is that people don't learn properly. Before talking about big things, have you studied properly whatever there in your syllabus? Do you really know how OS interacts with the hardware? So those are the important things according to me. I think after 10 years of experience, I started learning the syllabus all from scratch because I didn't study properly when I was studying. I was studying for marks and to get a job. So I think there should be a paradigm shift in the attitude in learning things. It should be out of interest, out of respect, not for a job and to get a nice girl, get married and get unsettled in life. So important point is learning with right spirit. I think that is more important. Rest of the things will follow on its own if you study properly.
I was just checking, sir. 15 minutes to discuss the first question. At this time, we will take 105 minutes to 7 questions.
So we'll change the game a little bit. So I'll be asking questions specifically to some persons because in the meantime I've done some background homework. So I'll be asking specifically questions to specific persons, specific questions. Sushil has a very interesting response. The things that he didn't study, he started studying the syllabus when he after joining the job. I think this is a message for our present batch students. So many times they just go here and there, trying to catch up with the technology which is moving fast. So as they try to approach, the technology is moving far away. So in the end of the day, they just fail in both ways. They miss the curriculum. They also fail to catch up with the technology. Susan made a very interesting point.
I just have one interesting so it's good. It's not that bad at all.
Okay. Then we move on to the second question. Would you recommend one to get into the IT industry, considering the current situation? And if you say yes, you need to justify why so. And if you say no, maybe because of some future experience, you need to also share why you don't want people to join the industry. I think I'll get started with Mr. Devardhan Tripathi, because he has a long association with TCS, and TCS is one of the largest recruiters. I mean, they try to grab all the students from all the institutes onto their company. So I think he has to justify the current situation whether they are still looking for students or they like the students to join the industry or not. And either way, he has to justify that. Please.
I can give a biased and unbiased answer. The biased answer is that there is a lot of opportunities in TCS itself, and we are not able to get right skilled people. So definitely the answer is yes. And that's the biased answer. Being a part of TCS and loyal to my paycheck. Just on a side note. Yeah, to answer to the question, yes, I don't know why there is a question that in the current situation. The situation is not bad. The situation is not anything to have a question in our mind that why not to join. But rather I would say that this should be one of the options. And in this option, to get into the IT industry, what are the certain things that we need to do ourselves well, to prepare ourselves well is the most important and critical aspect of it. I would just extend the context from the first question. Syllabus is the foundation we talked about. We cannot expect everything to be delivered by the institution, by the professors, by our parents. We have certain obligations for ourselves, what we want to do in the future. So it is important for us to abreast ourselves with whatever is happening outside the world of our, academic curriculum, to know the latest trends in the industry, to understand where the things are going, and then each one of us will prove our footprint in the industry. So that way I would say that it is definitely a yes. There is no question about no. Provided you have the appetite and you want to grow in that industry by making learning a daily habit. My father is a doctor, and he asked one of my cousin that do you know anatomy? And she said that, oh, we had studied anatomy in first semester. And he said that when you are going to be MBBS doctor, you need to know anatomy every day out in the last day. Engineering, when we studied, we also did the same thing. That what I learned in first semester, I learned in the second semester. But that no more is there. That was the trend that a lot of people have done it. And Susil, you mentioned that very well. And that still remains intact. To keep the learning always with you. And IT industry, you need to be updated every day morning. That's the key. So I don't see there is no question for no. It is definitely a yes, provided you have the appetite, urge to learn every day instead of thinking that I'll learn it today and then I'm done.
Thank you so much. So there is a ray of hope. In fact, why we are forced to put this question now, there is a trend. People are not coming for technical courses. So for I think before 5 years, there was a big rush for engineering colleges, for engineering and so on. But gradually, the parents they do not find that there is a career for the children in engineering or something like that, because maybe there is a industry. There are not many takers from the academic institution. So that's how they started sending them as children to the traditional courses of graduation, physics, chemistry, and so on and so forth. So that's the reason why. I thought maybe the students should listen directly from you whether there is a scope in the industry, whether it still exists or not. So that's the reason why I wanted to have a clarification on this issue, whether the industry is prepared to take as many students as they used to take 2 years back, 5 years back, 10 years back. So that was the reason here.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Just one sentence.
Yeah, please.
The way the things are being picked up today is different what it was there 10 years back. What Mr. Saul said is, when we go for campus selection last month in September, I was there in NIT Surathkal, and the people who are there, they know their subject very well and they are into the company. Now it is important for them to get into the next level and all. You might be hearing some rumors and all those things happening, particularly in TCS and other companies also right now. But that is because the quality of the people is not improving and the expectations are high. So it's not that everybody on the street can get a job. Literally, I'm making this statement, apologize for that. But the people who are quality people who are going to sign, they are going to stay forever. And that's the message. Even when we are doing the PPT, the pre-placement talk, we talk about that as the expectation has increased a lot. That's the way I see it.
Is it just because of the competition, or just they want to raise the standard? That's the reason why.
Standards. I mean, if you see 5 years back or 10 years back, Indian IT industry was signing. Today, China is catching up.
Okay.
China is out to fall back. Right now, if you talk about the IT service desk and all those kind of things, everything is going to Philippines, Manila. So there are a lot of competition happening at the international level, not just PCS Infosys, Wipro, IBM. There is a competition at the NASCOM and above level. So there is a expectation, the standard expectation has improved. That's the way it is coming up.
Mr. Saul, would you like to respond in brief?
Yeah, I'll say it's a huge opportunity. You cannot think of. You cannot think of what kind of opportunity is there. I will tell you one thing. You know internet?
Yes.
Internet is based on so far only 3 technologies. Rest another 2 technologies is yet to come. What is that? So you have information technology. Information means which website gives only information. So one technology. Many websites are based on information. Second, transaction जिसमें होता है. Certain websites based on the transaction. Third, what is third?
Digital marketing.
No, that is not digital marketing. Information, transaction. The third is e-commerce. Nothing. The biggest thing is going to come, that is on health. Last month आप बीमार पड़े थे, किसके बीमार पड़े? Do you know the knowledge? आप कब बीमार पड़े थे बताओ?
1 year back.
3 days back? Suppose you have cold. Or 2 years back. Why? What was the reason? Cold cough. Any reason, specific reason? Suppose, so you will fall sick 5 months back. Okay? So you will get sick after 1 month. You got some head injury. You will go to a doctor. Okay, you will take you want to know your health history. Do you know the history? You don't have the history. That technology is coming up.
Gadget,
Health.
no, health gadget device now available in market. So what now? I know one new latest technology, that is a gadget device. To the gadget device, you can collect the information. So mainly like in a remote area. Okay, so mainly in a remote area where the doctor cannot reach to the villages. So now one of the information I was reading through this that so they are making a gadget. Through the gadget is a device, the mobile device you can insert it, and there you can ask all kind of symptoms. But in the remote healthcare.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in India, every doctor will be trained to keep all the information. Doctors will keep all the information.
Record management.
Yes. Yes.
Big data.
You can collect those information anywhere, everywhere, electronically. So far it has not been done. 1 or 2 large organizations, they are already into it. It is blasted in 2059. So what opportunity? Huge opportunity.
So one more also online retail also. We can-
Online retail is opportunity. Yes, it is opportunity right now. Every big brothers are putting money into this e-commerce that I call e-tailing. Okay. Yes, earlier you have seen the .com. It is good. I will not discourage the industry, but yes, it is an opportunity, and you don't know how far those investors will face the loss. It's a loss-making business. How far? आप अपना वैल्यूएशन बढ़ाने के लिए कितने दूर तक लॉस रहोगे? आप मेरे से 10,000 में प्रोडक्ट खरीदोगे, आप बेचोगे 9,200 में या 9,000 में बेचोगे, just to make a customer. I am a customer. There is no necessary that I will go every time to have a breakfast in Nandan. If I got Chandan, another substitute hotel, or Bhoganandan, or some Nandan, or some XYZ name, you will definitely go there. There is no loyalty. How far you will keep on buying? How an investor will face the loss? I don't know. Nobody has corrected. But yes, it is growing. So that one way. Second way is manufacturing. Yes, you are talking about the employment. Yes, there is a problem. In Odisha, there are 100 engineering colleges were there. Out of that, what is the 50% engineering colleges has closed down. Reason being is lack of students, and अभी जो 25,000 students every year pass out होते हैं उनको जॉब नहीं मिलता है. This was the concern of the Chief Secretary Odisha. Last week he was in Delhi. He was telling what is the mechanism that students they can get a job. He is pledging with all the IT industry through certain people and media. How could we invite the corporates to open a state-of-art service center in Odisha? After pass out of the college or professional courses, they can be trained in Odisha. Now question is, which corporate will start a open a state-of-art service center? Why? If HP will start, his customer will be noticed by Acer or Lenovo or Dell. So it is not possible. It is not possible. वो बोलते हैं कि कियोस्क बना दो, वो भी not possible. Customer पता चल जाए एक दूसरे को. But there has to be some other mechanism. There is discussions are on. वो हो जाएगा, सर्विस सेंटर हो जाएगा. तो हो सकता है कि our guys will get trained. They will have a knowledge. आज सॉफ्टवेयर हो गया, आज हार्डवेयर हो गया, सर्विसेज ट्रेनिंग. You know that is skill development training. वो हो जाएगा तो अच्छा होगा. But yes, there is a huge opportunity in the IT industry. Thank you.
Yeah, there are many issues, there are many questions, so you need to go a little faster so that we can cover all of them. We would love that this kind of interactions will really go on, but unfortunately, time is always a constraint. Okay. Let me quickly combine issue number 3 and issue number 4. Issue number 3 is about how the students are going to equip themselves to prepare for the industry. And number 4, is it necessary that they learn all the technologies, or do they think that whether our curriculum is just enough and we can just then go ahead with whatever they learn from our curriculum? So these are the two things that I'm going to combine, and I specifically asked Santosh to address both the issues at the same time. Because the next slide have still more interesting questions, and I think I don't want to leave out distinguished panel members like Deepak Sahu and Paji without addressing those issues. I think another 15-20 minutes or should and then we wait for lunch.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Is it okay for you?
Okay, so for you who don't know me, my name is Santosh. I was one person, and at present I work for HP as a storage performance architect. So, as the questions say, what the skill set technologies required to get a job in the software industry, and what are the technologies that we will learn. If you see the skill sets that you use, okay, and we really don't need to have all the skill sets with us. Being a fresher, just passed out, I think probably it's not really required to have all the skills. Stick to your skills where you are good at. If you are good at C, C++, open source would be a good option. Okay? Linux is one of the things that you can actually leverage if you don't know. I would really suggest for all of you here, develop your Linux skills. That really matters a lot. Being an architect, I usually take part in a lot of forums, and I do take part in a lot of interview process. When 20-25 years guys, they come here for the interview. Okay? Then I get to see, sometimes I feel that fundamental is not really that strong. Okay? For example, that sometimes you really don't know what a process and thread is. That's really going to be a big challenge. So what you are really having to design, right? So design is something that purely comes to your mind. Okay? I don't see data structure, so what? What does it mean? Where do they fit for? Okay, I'm developing a file system, for example. Okay, what's that I'm going to implement the file system? How typically a file system looks like? Do I really know what a file system is? Do I know what a system programming is?
working in the systems programming. What is open source? Today we talk about big data. Today we talk about cloud computing. Cloud computing again is like an old story. We talk about the machine. HP is coming up with something for the machine. The big data, right? Big data, there are huge opportunities in big data, right? So what's that we need to inculcate ourselves to get into that? So what is mean? I can just illustrate an example, right? And skill set is used. You can go for Java, you can go for .NET, but for a purpose, right? And just blindly I cannot go for Java and learn something in Red Hat. What's that matters? It's basically for trying to point it, right? Today we talk about domain skills. Domain, what's domain? I'm into storage domain. So I can say I'm into storage because I know a bit about storage. Okay? Somebody's into web services domain, somebody into e-commerce domain, right? Like Amazon, Flipkart, some into social networking domain. So what's the skills that I need to, where my interest is, right? Suppose my interest is, okay, I want to develop something to open source. So what are the skills that I need to learn? Do I need to learn Linux? Do I need to learn C? Do I need to learn C++? Whatever you can learn, just stick to your basics. If you are good at basics, nothing like that, okay? And you can really think of, can you think something, be a good hacker. How much do you spend in programming? Do you really spend time in programming? I was really a poor programmer when I was doing my MCA, okay? Then I started my job as a developer, as a customer support, architect, okay? So then I learned. Every day you come to office is a new problem for you, okay? So I would suggest probably skill set wise, stick to your basics, learn as much as what you can learn, okay? If you are good at data structures, learn everything about data structures. Try to understand what is spanning trees, what are black and white trees. Probably they are used in your implementing file system. Don't restrict yourself just into linked list, reverse the linked list, that's all. Probably that's something you need to understand, okay? And latest technology is good, big data, future is in gigabytes, right? Because in storage we talk about petabytes now. Can somebody tell what is gigabyte is?
More bytes.
Okay? So we're talking about a billion of probably petabytes, right? So we are there. So how do we process that much of data? So cloud computing. So what's that I need to learn on cloud computing? Programming storage guy, I'm purely a storage guy, and I'm talking from that point of view. Maybe others can talk about their domain. But to me, honestly speaking, skill set technologies really doesn't matter. Like a job being essential. If you are good at data structure, you are good at database, whatever they may be, right? If you can deliver well in the interview, nothing like that. Okay? I hope you understood.
Thank you, Santosh, so much for sharing your ideas on technology that the students should gather to train themselves in so that they are acceptable by the industry. So he has his own story to explain the real thing and how one should be. I mean, the basics is very important. That's the message that he would like to send out so that other things he can always pick up very quickly, very strong in basics. So very quickly we move on to the issue number 5 and 6, which relate to soft skill, communication skill. And finally, at the end of the day, is it that good? I mean, somebody speaking very good English is just will have an edge over others when it comes to getting a job, or something else, something other hidden strategy, or something something additional thing that one should have so that you can really attract the recruiter. Smoothie has a long story in this line, so I thought he's the right person to address these issues. Because just to tell the background story, when he was still a student, in the first year he was found in the classroom, but for the second and third year, he was not there in the classroom. And whenever I meet on the road, I have to ask, where are you, Smoothie? Are you in the campus as well? Son, I am very much in the campus. And where are you? I am always in the library. And it so happened that he himself says that he never wrote a program except reading for the examination just the days before. But he was the first one to get the first guy in his batch to get a job in Satyam those days. And I think I will not speak more about him. He has to share that how you all managed. Maybe these clues will be helpful for some of you to get a job very quickly.
Thank you, Manoj sir. I know it's a knowledgeable thing to be a panelist because I thought I may not even contribute to this panel discussion. Sir, about soft skills, I was just going through social rights, article. They are beautiful, and I've written a very horrible article. But I'll share my experience and also tell you my opinion. My experience is, like he said, that I was the first one to get a. I mean, there were people who got recruited through campus, but off campus I was the first one to get a job.
One second. I suspect your intention of joining Satyam.
Why?
What happened to Satyam?
Well, that is the fate of most companies that I joined. That is different. Well, I got the job mainly because of my spoken English skills more than because I don't know programming at all. That's a fact. I mean, those 3 years I didn't do anything, and somehow after getting into the job, I could learn there itself, and I could do justice for those 3-5 years or whatever number of years spent in the software industry. So spoken English, yeah, of course, when I was in MCA, I was not so good, and in the last 10 years, I have improved a lot. But today, when I go to take an interview, even if I take a mock interview of some student, I expect him to speak at my level. Like, people say that, the expectations have gone up because we have improved and we've come to a level where we expect that the students we do take interviews of, they should be at our level. So that is the problem. So, we were at your level 10 years ago, but since our level has improved, we expect you to perform at our level. Communication skill, the 6th question, how important is communication skill? Does it mean English speaking or something else? I think largely yes. I mean, it is English speaking only because that is the language of communication in the industry. So if you speak well, you leave an impression, and people think that isko kuch aata hai, knowledgeable hai. So, like you don't know me much, but if you like my English, then you think that I'm knowledgeable hai. Okay, so people look upon you when someone speaks well, and if you don't speak well, you are looked down upon. Okay, and I mentioned all those things that happened to you in my column, in my article in the Surveyor. So this is important.
Okay, thanks. I think we'll move a little faster because
He's very happy. No question.
if you have some questions, maybe very quickly you can do that.
To me? Yes.
I'm honored.
You got a job in Satyam. At the interview, don't ask any programming question for you.
No, I was lucky. in the written, they asked me that there was a paper of aptitude. I was good at aptitude, so I could clear it.
Always lucky.
Yeah, always lucky. I'm really lucky.
But in my view, everybody know that everybody don't have lucky person. Then which type of steps they are followed?
If you work hard, you become lucky.
Right.
Actually, sir, I'd like to add one question. I'm working for a Korean company, and as you know that they don't know English, but they know hard work, right? So they are the most hardworking people around the world. So if you spend working hard, you get good job or else good communication skill. He left Satyam, then joined Goldman Sachs, which is not related to software. So if you have communication skill, it's that. If not in software industry, in other organizations also.
Okay, thank you. Then I think the last question to take up, that's relating to open source. I think we have a special session on that. Barbara is going to speak more about what is open source and all that. But now I think very briefly we'll set a stage for further discussion on these issues. What is open source and how we should accept open source? Maybe very quickly you can say, because you have a longer session on this.
Yeah, So usually what we have seen till today is says closed source, right? We write some code and we publish it just to give the binary to the customer, and customer uses that one. We don't disclose the source code or design. But the reverse way is the open source is a complete the system where everything is open. Open in the sense your design, source code, everything is open, and every individual is encouraged to participate in that one. So probably we'll talk more on that one on the next session. But this is the basic idea of this one, and those who are interested to learn and prove themselves, we want to discuss now till now that how we should enhance our skills. Probably that's the best platform to get into it. There we will have opportunity to groom ourselves with respect to soft skills and technical skills also. So we'll have more detail on this one once.
So thank you so much for all the panelists for ventilation ideas and giving very good input on these issues. So I just move on to the second slide because I want the industry people should respond. There are many such questions on different issues which will take up after the lunch. But I think these are the ones which probably Mr. Sahu and Party have something to add. So I would especially require that they should respond to these kind of issues. This is about the future of software industry. And down the line where you should be, whether there is a future in the software industry. How do you perceive the future of the software industry?
I will tell you in one word. It is just evolving.
It is
evolving. Oh, how many guys you know what the meaning of evolving? Not to remind me. That's it's evolving. It's evolving. The opportunity is there you cannot think of. You think of a logic. अब सोचो, आंख बंद करके सोचो, ये हो सकता है क्या? हो जाए। Just to brain. सोचो, how you develop your skill set. आप एक चीज को देखो, कोई भी चीज को देखो, आंख में देखो, आंख खोलो, डिजाइनिंग करो, ये हो रहा है आप उसको बैठ कर डिजाइनिंग करो सामने. अगर कर दिया तो you are successful. एक चीज सोचो, एक So, everything is software अब सोचो आपको एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ. बहरमपुर में कितने कंप्यूटर दुकान है? 180 कंप्यूटर दुकान है. 180 कंप्यूटर दुकान है. 180 से कितने कंप्यूटर दुकान की वेबसाइट है? 14 दुकान की वेबसाइट है. बाकी कितने दुकान की वेबसाइट नहीं है? क्यों नहीं है? इसलिए नहीं है कि उसको जो लोग जानते हैं वो आके ये दे देना, बेटा दे दो, बेटा चलो दे दो, कर दीजिए जल्दी. और ये सप्लाई क्योंकि उसका विजन नहीं है. वो जितना कमाता उसमें खुश है. 11 बजे खुलेगा, 1:30 बजे बंद करेगा, 2 घंटा सोएगा जरूर. 3:30-4 बजे खुलेगा, फिर 8 बजे तक बैठेगा, फिर चले जाएगा. वो उसको जो एक दिन में 1000 रुपए कमाता है खुश है. उसमें 5000 चाहिए नहीं उसको, क्यों मेहनत करेगा? अब क्वेश्चन ये है, आपके पास क्या अपॉर्चुनिटी है? सिर्फ बहरमपुर की बात कर रहा हूँ. 160 वेबसाइट बनाने की आपके पास अपॉर्चुनिटी है. एक वेबसाइट के लिए वैसे तो बनता है 2 मिनट में वेबसाइट बनता है. 2 मिनट में एक वेबसाइट बनता है, 2 मिनट्स. और उसका दिमाग लगाओगे तो आपका 10 दिन में वेबसाइट बन सकता है. 1 महीने भी बन सकता है, 6 महीने भी इंटरैक्टिव वेबसाइट बनता है, 1 साल भी लगता है. आप कौन सा इनोवेटिव मेथोडोलॉजी लगाओगे जो कि आपके पास कस्टमर आएगा, बिजनेस करोगे. आपको जॉब किसके चाहिए? पैसा आपको ऐसे ही कमाना है. सिर्फ बहरमपुर में इतना अपॉर्चुनिटी आप सोच नहीं सकते हो. भुवनेश्वर से ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटी है. Every student can be an entrepreneur. getting education is easy, but getting proper education is difficult. आपको बोला जाएगा एजुकेटेड एंड प्रॉपरली एजुकेटेड, अगर आप जिस दिन आपको डिफरेंस पता चल जाएगा पीछे कोई नहीं रहेगा. थैंक यू.
An important thing, if we notice, when we scrutinize the series, okay, the bios, typically you would see the series would come from the candidates having academic from IITs, even better institutes, even from MS, from US, we don't mind, okay, and when we scrutinize the series, we just see the profiles matching our requirement or not. And once the series come to us, we take an interview. If the candidate is succeeded in the interview, then only we select. It's irrespective of which university, which college, whether he is an IITian or not, we really don't mind. Because ultimately it's our project which is going to suffer, right? If a candidate turn out to be a bad. So keep in mind. So it's really material whether you are an IITian or a student from Bombay University. So your talent occupies highest seat. So just keep that in mind and keep proceed. Okay? I have practically seen that.
Yeah, it's true. Many times our students they have this kind of inferiority complex, when they wait for interview. Especially when you travel from Dharampur and the guy who has never traveled outside Odisha, and imagine that he's attending an interview in Bangalore, just see the amount of all that he has to face the interview. But I think this kind of experience really ease out the way it should be.
What the biggest problem? All students they make copy the CVs. Copy the CVs. C+ लिखा होगा, Visual Studio लिखा होगा, Code लिखा होगा, आपको वो मत लिखो. आपको जो चीज चाहिए वही लिखो. अब बोलो क्या आपने क्यों लिखा? नहीं sir, I have a knowledge. I know little bit of the knowledge, but I don't have the full knowledge. जो आपको चाहिए आता है वही लिखो. क्योंकि आप इतना सोचो, आप जिसको इंटरव्यू दे रहे हो, आपसे काफी पढ़ा लिखा है. आपको वो पता, उसको भी पता चलेगा कि झूठ बोल रहा है. 5 मिनट सुने वो बोला कि यू लाइक टू हैव टी. अगर कोई इंट्रूडर आपको कोई टी, कॉफी, कोल्ड ड्रिंक ऑफर कर दिया ना, आपको जॉब कभी नहीं मिलेगा. इतना दूर से बच्चा आया है, उसको चाय कॉफी पिलाओ. Then he will say you go to second round of the interview, जो कि आपको मिलेगा ही नहीं. आपको जो आता है वही बोलो.
So now this issue number 2 and 3, maybe you can combine, and Mr. Tripathi can respond to those from the industry point of view. Basically, it says that can someone sustain the IT industry after retirement? Because many times you have after working in the industry for about 15-20 years, they choose to come back and join academics or do something different. Even I am not able to understand what really happens when they work in the industry for a long time. Maybe there are a few instances, but this has become a regular practice in many of them. What really goes wrong when they have already worked in the industry for 20 years and suddenly they decide to leave? Maybe for good, maybe let's say they want to start something of their own, or some of them they get into, they go for a PhD degree and then have a very easy life in the academic institution. So this has been the trend that you're observing now. So you can give a very critical observation if you have really observed what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. That's a good question, and that does really happen on the regular basis. In terms of the retirement, if you see that retirement comes around 60-65 years, so probably currently the senior most professionals or the CEOs and all are there. Some of them has gone to the retirement space. But yes, somebody can sustain in the IT industry till retirement. The answer is yes, but may not be 100%. That's my frank opinion.
Why so? Why so?
Because after a certain stage, you see, lot of discussions if we see in last 2-3 hours, we all talked about programming. We all talked about language. We all talked about technology. But at a certain stage, probably after 10, 15, 20 years of the time, that doesn't matter a lot. We talked about how do you understand the customer problem, the customer business, and what is the solution you are providing it with. So then it comes out to the specific area where you are working on it. How long you can sustain in that area, like, Narendra was trying to cultivate those points, like the innovation that you are bringing, the new thought process that you bring in, that has nothing to do with technology or the programming and all. So there again comes the point is that who can sustain at that level, or try to do something innovatively and differently, can go to the next level. So it is it definitely gets tougher and tougher when you go above the pyramid. Yes, it is up in the pyramid. So though I have not gone, till the retirement stage or something, but what I have seen the seniors who goes to the top has a different mindset compared to rest of the audience. And how you need to distinguish yourself is much more important than what you yourself are trying to do.
Just adding on to that, right? I think people who can sustain in that level is people who can adapt to changes. The industry changes very, very fast. I cannot sit here and say that this is what I will do for the rest of my life till my retirement. 1 year and I'm out of the industry. I'll get outdated. Very, very quickly you can get outdated. So you have to be very, very adaptive to changes, and that is the only thing which you can sustain. And I think when people go to a certain level, it's difficult to change, as you know. And that is when it becomes very difficult. But if you can change, you can sustain. If you cannot change, it's very difficult. That's what.
So that's the real story. Okay.
There is no end to it. There is no end. There is no retirement. Thing is, daily you have a different need, different flavor. So your taste is changing, flavor is changing, your requirement will change, and the IT industry will prepare to fulfill your demand. So there is no retirement. There is no retirement. You will love to work more innovatively. So there is no retirement. So there is no end.
But if you can't change or you don't want to change, then take up a government job.
Well, that I think is the next question.
I think the last two questions we'll skip, maybe we can take it up in the next session. But okay, because then industry people are around, I'm also exploring some possibilities outside. Is it possible, just the reverse way, academicians joining the industry?
Yes.
Do you think they will fit into the requirements as it on today? Or even they need to learn a lot of things before they join the industry. Can you take them raw as they are? The basic question is, can you take them raw as they are? Or you need some kind of value addition, and then only those academicians are acceptable in your industry?
Absolutely right. It is a very interesting question also. There is a big demand of the trainers. Academicians, they could be a good trainer. For example, IBM, Dell, or any company, they take freshers. So they take from NIT or REC or good engineering colleges. They take bracket 80% above or 75% above. 10th class, 12th class and graduation engineering 80%. The slabs are there. You are from which school. Once they will tell the job upload to the recruiter, they say you will go through a finishing school. Finishing 20 days, 21 days, 30 days or 60 days. That time, the finishing school has to train the student. What level that candidate has to be trained so that he can work in the corporate. The corporate is not going to train him. So trainer is also, there is a big demand. To have the mental obsolescence or training development, corporates also they keep trainers. There is a big requirement also.
Just on that subject, right? Yes and no. The answer is both. Yes, as he says, there are every big company has universities, like I'm sure TCS, Oracle University, Cisco University, Alcatel University. There are all companies that have universities, and it's corporate, right? But it's still learning, and there's a big demand for trainers, and it's there everywhere in the industry. In terms of R&D, also there is a big demand. A lot of companies are working with universities now. I'm not sure whether this
IBM Research Lab
and Alcatel is working right now with IITs, and I know at least 3 different universities that I work with. We have set up shop, and there it is just people, focusing people on doing things without the delivery pressure, the delivery schedule that all of us have. Like, every Friday night there is a release and every 2 weeks there is a release, and none of that. So, in those areas, there are demands. I think when you get into the delivery schedules and things like that, I think it will be a risk. In my personal opinion, it will be a very, very big risk because some people, they have the adaptability to cope with that, but I would say that it will be a risk in those areas. But there are areas where it is definitely a risk.
But two data points, just for if it is, reference and acknowledgement. Two names I will say. Because you just validate the yes part with yourself. Dr. Santosh Mahanti, a professor in OIT, is right now Vice President of TCS, heading the component engineering group, developing small products kind of solutions that can be sold to the various customers. He used to be the head of business intelligence for TCS.
It's pure R&D.
Yes, and everybody know that if in TCS somebody says doctor, nobody has to say Mahanti or Santosh or anything. I spoke to doctor means everybody, there are hundreds of doctors in TCS, but doctor means it is Dr. Santosh Mahanti. One, directly from academician into IT industry, and he is the vice president today. Second vice president, again I'm telling by name, you can search it in LinkedIn and Google, Dr. Harry Quinn. He was 18 years in US as a professor. Right now he is the head of TCS R&D lab in TRPDC Pune. So he is again purely into R&D, but Dr. Mahanti was into R&D, delivery, and taking care of program management and everything. So there are a lot, at least I know two of them because they are at that level. But there will be a lot of people definitely who are there. They have tried it and they have been successful. Mr. Roth and Mr. Saurabh. So it's not a one-way street. It's definitely two.
So then it's very interesting to note that from both the sides people can just cross the river, either from this or that side, provided you have really equipped themselves with what the other party requires and what is there on the other side of the river. I think we will break for lunch. Yeah, please.
I won't be there after lunch.
Yeah, sure.
So I want to give a personal opinion for the university.
Please. That's very important. Yeah, please, that's very important.
I'm coming to Bharat University after 1992. What I found, guys are working outside, they are getting good jobs. Students also must be intelligent, but they are not getting the right job. Out of one post, maybe 10 guys are getting good job. Why 40 are not getting good jobs? Where they are lacking? Why they are not getting? How university can give the role? That is very important. It is very easy. It is very easy job. What university can start from VC or at your level? And you are head of computer, sir?
No, just a matter.
I got it. Sir, it's a suggestion. You try a sample. You must have a big room or big lab. You try to offer a state-of-art services or training center to any corporate in the country. You offer. You would like to invite to open a state-of-art training or development center or some whatever you are there, we will give you facility. I am sure. If you write to 5 corporate, 1 corporate will come. Why they will come? There is a reason. Because they will get the stamp from Bharat University that this product is good. What Tata is doing? What TCS is doing? You know how they do business? Don't mind. They fund to various universities. I am Arno. They fund the university for the one certain training development center. They fund it. आपकी केस में क्या होगा? आप उसको स्पेस दिया, उसका प्रोडक्ट इवैल्यूएट हुआ, प्रोडक्ट ट्रेनिंग हुआ, सर्टिफाइड होगा बरमपुर यूनिवर्सिटी. अगर 10 कंपनी को लिखोगे, 10 में एक तो आ जाएगा. आप उसको दो नहीं काम दो उसको. वो अपना स्टेट ऑफ आर्ट लगाएगा, ट्रेनिंग लगाएगा. सबसे अच्छा है कि बच्चों को ट्रेनिंग मिलेगा. ये चीज उड़ीसा में अभी तक नहीं हुआ है. किट में हुआ है. अब किट में जो हुआ है, जो कॉर्पोरेट उसमें पैसा लगा, उसको पैसा वापस नहीं मिल रहा है. अब सोचो, किसी ने 4 करोड़ लगाया, उसको 50,000 मिला, तो 2 करोड़ फिर 50,000 मिला, बोलते 70% दे दिया मैंने और 4 करोड़ के मांग दो, उसको पैसा नहीं मिल रहा है. अब ऐसा मत करो. एक सस्टेनेबल मॉडल लगाओ, कॉर्पोरेट को बेनिफिट हो. कॉर्पोरेट क्यों कर रहा है? उसको जो बिजनेस मिला है, उसको रिकॉग्निशन मिलना चाहिए, उसको अच्छा बच्चे मिलना चाहिए. अगर हम अच्छा पढ़ते हैं, बच्चों को ट्रेनिंग अच्छा मिल जाएगा तो शाइनिंग करेंगे, वही अपने कंपनी को ले जाएगा. दूसरा कंपनी को पता चलेगा, अच्छा इसने खोला है, अच्छा बेबी जाऊंगा, इनको बात हो जाता है. अच्छा उसने खोला है, टीचर्स खोला, तो मैं भी पैसा दूंगा भारत यूनिवर्सिटी को. आप एक डेवलपमेंट सेंटर कराइए, बड़ा अच्छा एक थोड़ा देखिए, उसको देखिए, अभी का आपको कैबिन देंगे, आप अपने डिपेंड रखाइए, आप एक सर्टिफिकेशन कोर्स कराइए सर, आप एक सर्टिफिकेशन कोर्स कराइए, कोर्स कराएगा, नहीं तो कम से कम हार्डवेयर ट्रेनिंग तो सिखाएगा, क्या फर्क पड़ता है उसको? हफ्ते में महीने में 2 एग्जीक्यूटिव को भेजेगा, अगर वो करेगा, अगर एचवी करेगा यहाँ पे फॉर एग्जाम्पल एचवी करेगा, अच्छा एचवी का भी आपकी प्रोफाइल आ जाएगा, यू नो एचवी इज ट्रेनिंग टू द यूनिवर्सिटी कंप्यूटर प्रोफेशनल्स, उसके लिए व्यूज है एचवी के लिए। अच्छा यूनिवर्सिटी अभी एचवी जैसे कि आईएम बेंगलोर को फंडिंग कर रहा है, एचवी यूनिवर्सिटी खुला है और हमने करवाया, बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी को कराइए आप एचवी यूनिवर्सिटी खोलने के लिए, उसको यहाँ कराइए, हार्डवेयर ट्रेनिंग कराइए, कुछ भी अगर तो वाकई ऐसा नहीं कि मैं बोल दिया तो कर दिया, उसको दिमाग लगाना है, यू हैव अ थिंक टैंक, आपका ऐसे भी नहीं है, बैठिए क्या हम प्रपोज कर सकते हैं। अब जैसे ये एचवी में आप बोलिए आपको हम एचवी को क्या प्रपोजल देंगे सो दैट दे विल कम एंड डू इट, आप उनको पकड़ के रखिए, ये एचवी में अपने आप काम करेंगे, हमारा बोलने से नहीं होगा, जो एल्यूमिनी आते हैं उनको पकड़ के बैठिए, हाउ वी शुड इन्वॉल्व योर कंपनी इनटू आवर कैंपस, फिर इनको उल्टा दिमाग चलेगा, अच्छा also do something for our university, अगर ये थोड़ा इनिशिएटिव करें ना जॉब की किसी को प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा। फिर अपने बहुत सारे काउंसिल उसको बुलाइए, जैसे बहुत सारे काउंसिल है सॉफ्ट ट्रेनिंग हार्डवेयर ट्रेनिंग सब देते हैं, उनको इनवाइट कीजिए, एक ट्रेनिंग का क्लास सेशन रख लीजिए, उनको एक्सपर्ट बुलाइए, प्लीज ट्रेनर्स, आप उनको बुलाएंगे ना दे विल ऑनर टू कम हियर, आप इनको बुलाइए बॉस आप आइए हमारा क्लास है, यू टेक 1 hour सेशन, he will come, they will have to come, he will share knowledge, stories, अभी एमसी बच्चों को स्टोरीज पता है क्या है, कुछ नहीं पता है इनको, सर्वर पता नहीं है, यहाँ के बिना ये स्टोरेज आ गए, तो अच्छा तू कहाँ गया था, तुमको प्रोफाइल तो उनका ट्रैवलिंग सारे कॉर्पोरेट स्पॉन्सर होते हैं, तुम कहाँ गए थे, हमें स्टोरेज में ट्रेनिंग, अच्छा स्टोरेज ट्रेनिंग करने गए थे, अभी अपना सर्वर वाले को बोलेंगे, सर्वर वाला आएगा, अच्छा सर्वर आ गया, ये पता चल जाएगा, आईबीएम को पता चल जाएगा, नहीं तो सिस्को को पता चल जाएगा, वो नहीं रहेगा, मतलब ये डेवलप सेंटर हो जाएगा, ये बरौनी यूनिवर्सिटी है, जब सेंटर हो जाएगा यूनिवर्सिटी बच्चे यार ट्रेंड है भाई, उनको ले लो, सो ये मेरा सजेशन है, यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल पे काम करना पड़ेगा ये।
So almost 1 hour passed just like that, we never realized that we were interacting for the last 1 hour. You can just imagine the quality of discussion that was taking place here. I wish we should have really continued longer, but unfortunately, because of the prior assignment we are living, but I promise that someday, depending on your availability, we'll have each one of you separately, so that we have a full day to interact with you, provided you have time, and if you are coming to visit your relatives or your home, please let us know so that we can arrange something like this, and our students will really benefit by that. So before we break for the lunch, let me request all of you to give a big hand to thank Mr. Devan Tripathi and Mr. Kumar Kamu. And all the other candidates who are doing their valuable time to give a very quality input to this discussion. And we will continue with this discussion with other issues as you proceed further. But probably they will not be with us, they will be doing immediately after the lunch. But you can always, you can take their email IDs and details, and sometimes you can exchange mails with them also. They are very open, and I can just, after interacting with them, I can see that they are very down-to-earth persons. When they are speaking from the core of the heart, I'm sure they can always help you in shaping your career in this field. Thank you so much again. So, may I request from here directly go to the department where you have arranged our lunch, and try to finish your lunch as quickly as possible and assemble here by 2:30. It's only half an hour time. If you are very much committed to this function, this week, because you have your seniors present here, try to make the best use of them. There are many interesting things to come up. Try to make the best use of the time used today before you see the video. So I wish that all of my time I would ask you to go to the department and finish your lunch and come back and be in the room. Before I come,